I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
On today's episode of 1 Minute Reactions, react to Black Clover, episode 101, The Lives of the Village and the Sticks. Now, coming hot off the heels of episode 100, which was honestly one of the best episodes so far, both audio and visually. It's just art and animation, the whole battle scene. It was amazing. But honestly, I really enjoyed this episode as well. We might not have gotten a climactic battle, but what we did get is the beginning of a much needed character development in a certain somebody who I have loathed since his introduction. I'm pretty sure you all know who I mean. Now, last we left off, the entirety of episode 100 was basically the battle between Asta, Yuno, and Licht. After seeing his comrades fall, it seems Licht has finally begun to awaken, and the fight that ushers forth is one of the most dynamic and fluid battles we've had in the series so far, where we finally get to see rivals team up. Yes, Asta and Yuno fighting side by side against the leader of the elves. Unfortunately, even their teamwork is no match for this OP monster. After stealing the Demon Dealer sword from Asta and absorbing one of Yuno's mana zone attacks, he unleashes a devastating beam, basically eviscerating, melting the landscape. Hell, even makes a big ass hole in his own hideout. And although our heroes are down, they are not out. Yes, Yuno is still in his faculties, able to use some of his magic, is able to save himself, Mimosa, and Asta, who is a little worse for wear, but of course in Asta fashion, still raring to go. Yet back at the hideout, it seems plans are still in motion, and it all begins with a conversation between Raya and Licht. Yes, Licht is finally talking, and he says something very interesting. After Raya comments on his grimoire and swords, whether he wants to get them back or not, he states the grimoire and swords are no longer his. Is this Licht relinquishing the rights to his own magic? I mean, he could very easily just go down there, steal the shit back, but does he believe he's so powerful now that he doesn't need them, or can he not take them fully back? Like, I don't know why at this point, but it's just very interesting that he's basically just letting them go. For a guy who has said so little, what he actually does just speaks volume, and it just adds that so much intrigue to the mystery behind Asta's grimoire. Now, moving on from that, Cobb has showed up. Yes, the spatial magic user, and using his magic, he is able to summon basically everyone who has transformed left in the hideout. And we do see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of friends we're definitely gonna have to try and get back. Now, one of the newly transformed elves is Siren, a member of the Golden Dawn, the stone user. He proceeds to make a giant steering wheel, and actually the hideout begins to fucking move. And it seems it's headed on a direct path to the royal capital, making me wonder if they're going after the royals first. But whether it's that or part of a much larger plan, this giant floating rock definitely seems to be a beacon, almost a call to arms. During its voyage, it seems to be passing over Hage village. Yes, the hometown to our heroes Asta and Yuno, and home to the wonderful sister Lily. As the villagers look on in curiosity, it has also caught the attention of a magic knight, one who has recently transformed. Yes, that's why I called it a call to arms. And seeing this and quoting that it's his brethren up there, this elf begins to attack the helpless village. Even though he begins to state that, yes, I can sense that you are the weaker of the humans. Hell, even in this age, it seems you are the ones being discriminated, much like us. But because humans are humans, I must kill you all. So he can relate to these, these segregated humans, but nevertheless, this does not sway him to show any kind of mercy, and he proceeds to attack. Now, meanwhile, like I said, Yuno was able to rescue himself, Mimosa, Asta, and Belle, and as the base is no longer there, the remnants of the Royal Knights begin to regroup. We have the unconscious Meregliona and Zora, the captain of the Silver Eagles, Nozel, as well as the Mushroom Dude, and flying out of the sky, last to arrive, is Noel and Kirsch. And this is where I get excited in the episode. Like I said earlier on, we see character development. A little in Licht, but more so, baby steps beginning some kind of evolution in the Silver Asshole. Yes, Nozel. Not only does he proceed to almost compliment Asta in the fact that he survived a situation that made the lioness unconscious, he also gives them a rare healing magical item, and the biggest part is his interactions with Noel. Now, we know that their relation is very tumultuous. We know the mother died during childbirth, and that was Noel, and I believe Nozel, pretty much blamed her for the mother's death. And either Nebra and Solid, they either felt the same way or subconsciously played off Nozel's emotions and just treated Noel like shit. I mean, it's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. So every time we see an interaction between between these siblings. I mean, from the very, like, what was it, episode 4, where she's like hiding at the Magic Knight entrance exams and he's just belittling her, and then we see it at the star ceremony, pouring the water on her. It's just like they've treated her like shit since, like I said, day fucking 1. Yet subtle changes are beginning in this episode when she just spouts off like the plan to save their country, save their friends. We're gonna do whatever it takes. He smiles, and not only that, as they're heading, trying to follow the hideout, and after Asta and Yuno notice that Hage is being attacked, he says 2 things that stuck with me. First of all, he gives them permission to leave. I mean, he is like he's in charge. He's probably the strongest. He's a captain, definitely outranking them both in mana and power, but maybe not Yuno. I don't know how much this power up gave him in comparison to a captain, but I mean, he's the leader at this point. He gives them permission to leave, but also states that you guys are a key to winning this. Like, you two, you're anti-magic, you're super powerful. I mean, we need you guys, so go take care of business and hurry back. That's something, early on Nozel would probably never fucking do. And then the best part of this episode, when Noel wants to go help Asta and Yuno, he's like, no, you're staying with me. We're gonna go defend the capital. And it's this kind of surreal thing that even, you see Noel notice it. He's been so distanced from the very beginning, yet now he wants her by his side. And I believe he's slowly about getting to trust her and change. And I don't know, it's just great to see, because let's face it, they're family. All they have is each other. I don't know where the father is. Have they mentioned the father? I don't know. But either way, they're siblings, and their relationship up to this point is absolute shit, based off a preconceived notion that she's the reason for the mother's death. All this hatred and anger and just pure disconnect is, like I said, baby steps, but it looks like it's beginning to relieve itself. She even gives him the 3-finger Clover salute, which is honestly, it's good seeing this evolution in that character. And after this little interaction ends, Asta and Yuno take off and interrupt an attack, which, you know what, it's great seeing Sister Lily stand up, but having little Nash, having flashbacks of Asta going in for an attack, even though he doesn't stand a chance at all, it's just like this awe-inspiring moment. And then it's that pivotal hero to the rescue type entrance, Yuno and Asta showing up to save the day. Like I said, coming off what I believe is one of the best episodes of Black Clover so far, episode 100, both in terms of story and animation, and just the battle was so fucking intense. This honestly is a nice follow-up to me. We see that the elves have, machinations, and it's honestly a much needed insight into the impact of this reincarnation spell, especially in, non-magical nights. Like, hell, Hage Village is out in the Forsaken Realm, out in the middle of fucking nowhere, yet it still has to deal with the reincarnation of these elves and the hatred, and just honestly, who's there to save the day? Most likely, if Asta and Yuno weren't passing by, all these humans could die. But I gotta say, the MVP of this episode is it's Nozel. I mean, the smirk he smiles, the lines he says, and keeping Noel close to him as he goes in for another attack trying to take down these elves. It's a much needed development in a character who I have loathed since his introduction. All in all, this is a great follow-up to an amazing episode. But going forward, we have so much to do, and I have a feeling this thing is just getting started. We have to take down all the elves, yet still save all of our friends and the citizens and the Clover Kingdom. This is one of the most intense arcs I've ever witnessed in an anime. So with that being said, I cannot wait for future episodes.